Sony's made an active push towards conserving older games with both their PS2 and PS4 and now their new backwards compatibility programs, and it includes incredible emulation devs actually working to better these older games. But it did get me wondering, because of my OSSC Pro and me forcing a high-res mode on my PS2 games natively, could it beat out Sony's own efforts? I grabbed 4 different games to try, 2 from the PS2 and PS4 catalog as well as the new catalog, and in my opinion, Sony shines out really well on this. Now before I start into the first game, I'm going to mention that recording the PS2 footage, I have 2 different presets. I have it set both to the 4:3 resolution scaling. I think I goofed on one of the games, but it is what it is. It has nearest screen filtering and no other filters or scan lines. The other one is my preferred setup, which is the look of a PVM monitor, scan lines, and a screen filter that actually smooths games out. So first on the roster is Dark Cloud 2, and while I do have a bias for this, I think especially with my filtering applied, it looks a lot better in 1080i and deinterlaced than it does in the 960p upscaled, which is the resolution for PS2 and PS4. The font isn't blurred as much because of the filtering. The textures pop better in my opinion, though both games really run well, and as far as I know, it doesn't have any issues running on PS5, so if you're able to play this game, go right ahead and grab it. Second, I'm going to do Sly Cooper, and this was Sony's first major addition when they started the new BC catalog, and it's an easy win for the PS5. It's going to run better than the 1080i source FPS-wise. You do get a better filtering algorithm. It cleans the game up a lot better. There's no more aliasing almost at all, and ultimately it feels better retained as a PS2 game than what I could ever do with an upscaler. For the third game, we're hopping back to the PS2 and PS4 with Wild Arms 3, another beloved franchise for me. In 1080i, this game suffers. There's actually missing resolution, so some of the lines of the game are missing, and while it does run full speed and the scan lines and edge filtering kind of help it, again, this is going to be a game that doesn't have any issues with the PS5 currently with the PS2 and PS4 program, and it runs and looks better in 960p and beyond. I would just play it on the PS5, or if you can emulate it, go right ahead. Now, the coolest of the bunch for me is our last game, Soul Calibur 3. It's the newest PS2 game added, as far as I know at least, and it's such an easy one for the PS5. Not only does this natively render in 16:9, the clean 1080p upscaling, and there's no issues of it. And alongside that, the PS2 version of this game on PS5 has actually had some bug fixes. There's empty frames that were taken out of the game completely, as far as I know, and it just scales so much better. Your font and your HUD aren't going to be scaled. That is fine. They didn't need to go that far. But what I will say is that running this game on PS2 and 1080i, there were a couple of issues. It runs faster than it should be, really. That being said, this really is a fantastic way to look at how we got to this far in emulation and everything. 1080i scaled and deinterlaced to 1080p and 1440p on the PS2 because of upscaler really makes this game shine, but I think PS5 still beats it just because of the fact of all the additions to it, the native rendering, and also the bug fixes. Now, I'm going to be honest, this was a really eye-opening experiment for me to go ahead and tinker with. I do still plan on playing Dark Cloud 2 and Wild Arms 3 on my PS2. That's kind of just where I grew up loving these games, and even in 480i upscaled further, I'm always going to love them on their native platforms. But I really feel like this proves that Sony's putting a lot of heart finally back into backwards compatibility, where it's been gone for so long, in my opinion. This is a company that was saying that why would you return to older games with poor graphics just some time ago, when we compared games like Gran Turismo and everything from their older games to their newer games. And now they're proving that without the need of a PC or their PS Plus streaming, we're actually going to get these games back. And if you want to see more of these comparisons, please like, follow, do whatever you can. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks for watching.